Greetings, YouTube. It's been over a year on my channel since I've discussed this specific patent that Kabam has the legal right and permission and authority to use. But for some reason, I think it's because of the string of videos that so many different content creators made and discussed regarding burnout in the past month, that this image has just been sent to me a number of times, and I've said that I've touched on it, but I've been talking to different summoners, including Mr. Pep 1000 behind the scenes this week, and so I want to revisit this patent, kind of talk about the two different situations that I've seen regarding the data, and then also where we're going to go from here, because there is going to be a bit of an experiment thanks to Pep between now and July 4th. So if you are unfamiliar with this patent, if you're new to this concept, Kabam has a slew of patents, including some new ones that I should probably cover in a separate video, but that is not for today, that give them the ability and the rights and the legal protection, more importantly, to do certain things in the game that are at times hidden from the summoner's view. So unless you knew that they had a system, this would not be something that you ever thought about or found out about. We know, thanks to patents and past discussions, that each account has an algorithm, and it tracks not only spending behavior, but different items in your inventory that you have accumulated over the years. So for those of you who are wondering, why is it that I got 4 straight cosmic 5-star awakening gems? How is that possible when there are 6 classes in the game? Well, Kabam has said this in several help tickets, but they want to keep, for the economy of the game, which is a fancy way of saying they want to keep making money, they don't want it to be easy to have an account that constantly just gets all the luck, that pulls all the 4 stars from premiums or the God tier, beyond God tier champs from basics or features, etc. So that's why sometimes it feels like, especially if you're free to play, that you never get anybody good. But at the same time, it can go the other way. So let's first remind ourselves of what this patent, when it was actually assigned. So it is currently active. You can see at the bottom of this. Assigned to Kabam on the 8th month, right? Which is what, August? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, correct. August 28th, 2017. So it's been around for almost 3 years. And on top of that, is it active? Well, you better believe the status is active. And it is interesting that the anticipated expiration of this, if Kabam thinks that Marvel Contest of Champions is not going to be around, is the year 2034. So if you're thinking that Kabam thinks this game's going to go away in 2020, they've got a patent active until 2034. And my guess is, given how Marvel plans things as well, they've got lists of anticipated champions that they're already working on for 2021. So they're always trying to stay ahead of the game, ahead of the curve, whatever you want to call it. So when it comes to the actual mystery boxes that adjust due to past spinning behavior, let's talk about 2 circumstances that I think are extremes in the community, but can be common experiences depending on who you are. The first is what is affectionately and sarcastically referred to as the free-to-play experience. You have 0 spending behavior. You have no past charges ever in the game. You are truly a free-to-play player. The unit store does not matter to you, because no matter what pops up, even if it's a 4-star crystal for 99 cents like the community choice crystal was a couple years ago, you're not going to buy it. You're also somebody that Kabam is constantly targeting for super amazing deals, so it can finally get you to spend some money instead of just some free play credit at the Marvel Casino of Champions. Well, yes, you are not somebody that they're going to incentivize to give amazing luck to. Now, that's not saying you can't get good luck, and we have seen it in a lot of different areas, including Mr. Brian Grant, who of course also spends so many thousands of hours over the years on the game that he may not spend cash, but he puts in his time, which, I mean, the man is very talented and very creative, and so his time is definitely not worth nothing, right? It's not free. But at the same time, his account's going to fare differently. But what about somebody like Pep, or more appropriately given what was the history of his channel, Crystal Opening Whale? What did he prove? Well, I had talked to him about this in the past, and Pep as well. So if you have an account that consistently spins thousands of units, and quite possibly, especially in, say, Cal Whale's case, thousands of dollars a month on featured Cavalier crystals as an example, and you know that they're going to keep spending until they get that featured 5 or especially featured 6-star champion, the algorithm has shown that regardless of the anticipated drop rates being 0.04% or even 1 or 1.5% for a 6-star that's not the featured or sub-featured champion, it's actually more likely at times that the game will not give you the featured or sub-featured, because if you are a high spender, high limit whale card holder, you're not going to want to stop spending until you get that target. And Cal Whale was so frustrated because there were times where he would have to open 500 plus. Back then it was featured Grandmaster crystals that everybody was opening before Cavalier, before he would get the 5-star. 500, and they were the same price, right? They were 300 units a piece. So you're looking at $10 per crystal. And so you open 500, that's $5,000 for a 5-star, right? Seems crazy, especially now that we're in the 6-star era of featured Cavs or featured Grandmaster, but that was just looked at as the norm, so to speak. So I see this as there's kind of two extremes. There's the free-to-play players who never spend a dime and are probably going to get far more Groots than Dr. Dooms, for example. Then you have the people like Cal Whale who they're going to keep spinning until they get that new champion, and so the game's actually incentivized to give them enough luck to where they'll get like pretty good 6-star drops in terms of the number of 6-stars, though probably not the specific champions. They're going to get like a Warlock and a Nick Fury, for example. But they'll get a Miles Morales or a King Groot. That's also part of why there's so many trash 6-stars, I believe. It's that they don't mind, Kabam doesn't mind giving 6-star drop rates to whales. It's just the champions within the 6-stars are not going to be God tier if you open 500 crystals. And we also know this because a few of you have kept track of all the different champions that you've opened in your 5 and 6-star crystals in the past 2 years. One of you who wanted to remain anonymous was somebody that spends, I think it was annually, at least $20,000 a year. So you're talking about $40,000 in the past 2 years. And it was very fascinating data-wise to just see how few times the 6-star champ was a champ that you'd even think about at all taking to rank 2, and how many times that it took this specific summoner at least $3,000 worth of featured Cavs to get the 5-star. Nevertheless, a 6-star, which oftentimes wouldn't even happen, right? You could shoot 1,000 featured Cavs and not get the featured 6-star, believe it or not. So here's what's going to happen. Pep has said that he wants to test this out, because he feels that even though we featured some of his best luck recently, that he gets far more bad luck than good luck despite his spinning behavior. He is going to go for Red Guardian. He thinks that, I think that Champion Awaken especially is going to help him out. And he's going to go for Warlock as a 6-star. He's got a rank 3 unawakened 6-star Warlock. It is currently his white whale of choice. So if there are Warlock featured Cavs, or I think the Red Guardian comes in the game soon, in about a week, then he is going to open that crystal. But other than that, he claims he is not going to open any featured Cavs in the month of June. And then on July 4th, he'll check out those offers and see if there are any 6-star Sig Stones, because that's really what he's after, like so many people in his position with the 6-stars at rank 3. But other than that, he's going to take I guess about a month, maybe longer, off of opening featured Cavalier crystals, and he's going to eventually open some again. Maybe it's going to be at the end of July, maybe it's going to be in August, I don't know, he doesn't know, but he is going to send over the data and compare, because he also has saved his last 100 plus results of his featured Cavs. I'll compare what it was like to open, say, in the month of May versus the month of August, especially if Kabam sees that his spending behavior has decreased they could adjust the mystery boxes, quote unquote, which are crystals, to maybe have better odds. So we are going to do this experiment. He said either in July or after, so that's a takeaway from this. And also, just know most summoners fall somewhere in the middle. They're casual spenders to moderate spenders. I would say I'm a high spender on July 4th and Cyber Weekend, but per month I'm somewhere between a casual and moderate spender, which I think to me means I spend maybe $200 a month cash, which I get is still a lot of money. But compared to some people, $200 a month, they'd say, wow, that's nothing. So, that's just kind of a transparency regarding my own spending behavior on my account. What do you think, YouTube? Do you think that it's all a coincidence, or do you agree that whales can be impacted just as much by this as free-to-play players, or are you just convinced it's just free-to-play players? I'd love to see your comments on this. Anyhow, comment below, let me know, and Pep, thanks for working with me on this. I can't wait to report the data in a couple months. Until then, we'll be patient, and good luck with everybody, regardless of spending behavior, on your future crystal openings.